Hello. I just want to post something because I saw a kid really crying hysterically on a TikTok. I'm going to try and find it and duet it. I've never really posted a video, but it's in response to that. It's a little education so that people that have people in their lives that are drug addicts and choose drugs over them, what's going on and why it would happen. Number one, we identify who are the drug addicts. They are mothers, responsible, good beings. They are athletes that have limb loss. They are people that had heart transplants that were athletes. They are doctors. They are nurses. They are psychologists. They are everyone. So a lot of people put this whole shadow on people that are out in those streets, hustling for some drugs and can't do anything. They'll give up the kids, they'll give up everything. Let me explain to you why. A lot of people, you could get into a car accident or have surgery and you go on like an opiate, right? They give you like I don't remember what the names of the drugs are, but they'll give you a painkiller, and that painkiller will flood into your body, okay? It floods into your body system, and it shuts down the 4 chemicals that Hell Father in Heaven gives us. GABA, G-A-B-A, which is GABA. 2, acetylcholine. 3, dopamine. And 4, serotonin. Those are the 4 chemicals that we naturally produce in the body in a perfect combination to keep us feeling content, okay? With not even being aware of the pain of having this physical body, which I consider like a biotech for our spirit, for us to experience this life here. So when you lose those, they don't produce back until after you quit taking those meds, and it takes 2 to 4 weeks for them to naturally produce. Okay? So, if somebody became, addicted, that's what they're up against. Okay? So, when you don't have GABA, when you quit and you don't have GABA, acetylcholine, serotonin, and dopamine flooding in your body to neutralize the natural effect of being in pain just for existing in this body, then what happens is it feels like every single nerve and pore in your body is uncomfortable and pained and tweak like somebody scraping your nerves in every pore. You're in more extreme pain because just like Chinese torture, sorry about the Chinese torture, but that's what they used to call it in the history books, of having a water drip, drip, drip on your head, one little drop, that will drive somebody insane, and sometimes they'll give up and die, okay? So this is what they're up against. If you don't have that serotonin, the GABA, acetylcholine, serotonin, and dopamine in your body, you're in extreme pain all the time. So to make regular common people and children that have lost parents, or parents that have lost children, or siblings that have lost siblings, or any combination of caring about anybody that has a drug addiction, what you need to understand is that it takes 2 to 4 weeks to actually start feeling content and not in excruciating discomfort and pain. So for regular people to try out, put a party together, okay? Put a party together so you'll understand. And get everyone just to play along. Say, I want you to hold out a half a cup of glass of water, straight out, standing up. Okay? And hold that cup of half a glass of water for 24 hours. You can't do it. Okay? You can't. after anybody can do it for 10 minutes. No problem. They're laughing. It's like, ugh, this feels uncomfortable. It starts getting uncomfortable. Then, okay, you do it for an hour. Now we're starting to feel a lot more discomfort. You want to sit down, you want to have a cigarette, you want to have a drink, or you want to have food or something, or sit. You just make any comfort, but you can't. Because if you put that glass down, that means you're giving up your family for drugs. Okay? That means you're giving up your family for drugs. That means you're stealing even your children's stuff to get drugs. So that's how much discomfort they're in. So holding that half cup of glass, you might get to 6 hours in extreme pain. You're starting to get mentally tormented by holding that half a cup of glass of water straight out, standing up. If you even get close to midnight, you're probably going to need a psychologist, a mental hospital, a psych ward, a physical doctor in the ER, and get pain meds just to calm your pain and damage that happened. So that's just 24 hours. We can't even get through that. If you can't hold that half a cup of water, then how can you expect that it will be so much easier for someone to quit drugs that for like 2 to 4 weeks? Okay, there was another study done. The other study was done by, I believe it was Harvard University. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I have to give credit to them because that's what I was told. If the Vietnam vets came home from Vietnam. They had all kinds of drugs. Every getting drug you name it: heroin, cocaine, barbiturates, you name it, the drug, opiates. They were just all addicted, okay? And I'm not saying every single one, but that's what they did the study on. And there were two drastic differences. Number one, there was some that quit cold turkey and had maintained a beautiful, wonderful life. At least that's what it appeared. Okay, in the studies, they seemed to be well balanced and everything like that. And then the other part of Vietnam vets that came home, they ended up on the streets worse, homeless, living in decrepit situations, can't hold a job, can't get a job, can't do anything, can't function, okay? And were worse, addicts. The difference between the two was the ones that succeeded to quit cold turkey had unconditional love and support from their family that were healthy and their friends and community members. Okay? So they toed that line for that 2 to 4 weeks and had people there to help him not react and get violent or, what have you. And the other ones had toxic families that would be triggered. They were supported the ones that quit cold turkey were supported and loved unconditionally, whereas the other ones didn't. So when you have any kind of trigger, that is another thing that helps people fail. But to help addicts understand how painful it is and why they can't feel that they quit, it's that one step. It's just a trigger for a couple of minutes. You have to get through it by keeping your mind busy. Get active. Get out to a meeting. You can change your mind with even watching a comedy. And fix yourself up something, a nice warm bath, or, make candles or something. And the only reason why I knew this was because I went to the dentist and I had a couple of teeth pulled because I'm getting older. And, when I had the teeth pulled, I had, I forget what the pain pill was, but I didn't understand why it was so uncomfortable. I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, And I don't have any addictions. I'm lucky because I had seen it and been, veered off it from my grandmother. But what I did have was those pain pills making me feel that way. And I didn't understand. I'm like, what is wrong? So I also had a broken bone, so I had surgery, and they gave me pain pills. And every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? The pain's getting worse, not better. So they said, that's what the pills are for. You got to take those pain pills. And I'm like, why does it feel like the pain's running everywhere, though? I don't understand. My legs like it was broken right now. So, in other words, I started trying to find out the real truth. And I did see the problem on the streets to begin with, already embedded in my head, that why is it that everyone is becoming drug addicts? Everyone, like around the cities, It just seems like families were reporting more and more deaths from drug overdoses, from opiates, or something that they were into. And it just made no sense to me whatsoever. So I did more research to help myself, understand why I felt so uncomfortable. Because I was willing to just, I asked my dad, I said, hey, can you get me some coffee brandy or something? He goes, you don't even drink. I'm like, I know, but I am so uncomfortable right now. I need to take down that pain. So I did that, okay? And that still didn't work. So I had to toss and turn for 2 to 4 weeks. Excuse me. I don't have COVID, I promise you. But what I do have is like a little choke in my throat because I'm underneath a blanket, trying a feather pillow, and it's hot, not much oxygen here, so I'm going to speed it up. So, basically, I had to toss and turn and sleep through it. I did everything to function, okay? Because as I was awake, it was more excruciating, and it was every nerve and pore. So when I found that article about the GABA, acetylcholine, serotonin, and dopamine stopping complete production, which is a natural painkiller of existing in this biotech body for our souls, okay? So you gotta kind of open your mind and understand, if you have a loved one, you feel so betrayed because they gave you up for drugs, why couldn't you just stop? I heard this poor boy, excruciating pain that he's going through because he wants his, mom, life is tough. And so what I'm going to tell you is, this is another thing. This is Ephesians 6:10-13 says, put on the whole full armor of our Hell Father in heaven. Okay? Because we are not fighting against the humankind of flesh and blood. We're fighting against the unseen, the principalities, the evil satanic rulers of the unseen world, and the evil satanic rulers of the physical world. They are very powerful spiritually, and we can't comprehend that because it's been hidden. Okay? And many evil spirits that run around the world trying to ruin the souls of other people, because that's what they've been conditioned to do. Okay? So we're set up, 2,000 years is up for evil to reign on this planet. That's why the truth is all coming out and it's boiling over. They're panicking and they're getting more extreme measures, and that's why you see all this stuff heating up. And what is the only way you can deal with this? Except that, we might go through a lot of stuff. We may even die. But you got to keep praying. Okay? Because you don't want to go the other place. To the bad one. So, and I do fully believe this, because I have had some experiences in my life where there's no way in heck, I would have made it through. And, everyone tells you in in a spiritual experience type of person, not to share your private experiences, because everybody is. This is a world of knowledge. Okay, it was from the original sin. We were sent down in these body contents. Okay, to be ruled by the one that Eve and Adam listened to, because Hello Father in heaven had one rule: don't eat of the center fruit of the tree in the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge. Because if you do, you will surely die. So that is what we're here for. Okay? We will suffer and die. Okay? Because we're going to be ruled by evil. That reign is over. Okay? It's starting to end. 2,000 years is up. Okay? So when you understand knowledge, everybody says, why did you let this happen? Were you praying to him every day? Maybe if it happened, it was taking him for a good reason. I've heard people say they lost their baby, and I mourned for him, cried with them. And I didn't understand myself until I got older, that maybe they were being saved from a greater evil torture, that where their soul wouldn't be able to continue to live. And they meet us up there, The ones that we lose meet us up there, and they can see you. The minute you talk to them, the minute you, not talk to them, because you're not supposed to talk to them, okay? You're supposed to talk through Hello Father in heaven. And just, have faith and trust in the one that loved you and created you. That was the whole point. But he knew if Adam and Eve were breaking this, one rule, we all would, his creation. So that's why we have to go through all this. So we get knowledge because we were going to screw up anyway. So it's important to repent, make amends, because you're not going to understand why everybody is the worst person, or why tragedies happen or strike. Okay, you got to fight to live, and that's through prayer. Prayer exorcisms. I recommend YouTube's Carlos Oliveira's 4-hour exorcisms and curse breaking, because we're cursed every day. Heck, we were singing nursery rhymes for curses. Our prayers, dear God, dear Lord, amen. Guess what that was? The Bibles were all edited and burned. They kept some of the meat, and the meat is what Jesus kept there on purpose. Okay? And the Bible is inside us. He left that when he ascended back to heaven, physically. Okay? So the Bible that they edited, Gad, was the nickname that the satanic, believe it or not, kings didn't do their own work. They actually had somebody underneath them do it. So they had him edit the Bible, right? So what did they do? They went and did what he said, right? And edited it, but they used their own scribe. So what did they hear? Gad, in English accent, is God. Okay? So that's what the scribe wrote down. Okay? This is how easy the misinterpretation was. So if you have that, then you have to understand who Gad is. That was the nickname for Gadrael. El meaning angel. Gadrael is a fallen angel. Okay? So how would evil sabotage you right off the bat? Get you to read a Bible that has you praying to them, and break the first commandment to make him first. Hello, Father in heaven. And Jesus said, no one on earth or in heaven can be called Father except Hello, Father in heaven. So there you go. Okay? And then Lord is the lower ranking in the kingdom. Okay, if you take a kingdom, okay, you got the king, the queen, all of their family members come out of the woodwork, and they are underneath the king and queen, and then a couple of other titles, and then the titles of Lord start going all the way down. So do you really want to be praying to a lower rank when they're the highest? And I just say that just to throw it out there. Plus, Lord is also a nickname for B-A-apostrophe-E-L, Baal. And he was a fallen angel. So everybody has their purpose here for knowledge. Evil has their purpose too. And we have to learn from it and try and overcome it. And the only way we can do it is by educating. And Amen is also a fallen angel. Believe it or not. I think it's a demon or a fallen angel of some sort. But you have to be praying all the time to find. I've been praying since I was 2. I didn't even know what I was doing. I screwed up so many times. I was a sinner. And still am. I screw up constantly. So I'm always praying. So whether it, helps us or not, I don't know. But if you understand all these things, maybe it'll give you a good foundation, that you really have to, not judge people, okay? Because I judged, and I was wrong, completely wrong. We had the most talented, wonderful people, and even the most worst, vicious people were victims first. And yeah, you can't trust them, okay? It's going to take a long time for them to get over that, like Barabbas. The 3 on the cross. There was a petty thief, Jesus, and Barabbas. Okay, Barabbas became a saint. Nobody knows that, but they can find that story in Saints Behaving Badly. That's an excellent book, so that you can give it to somebody who feels like they're not good enough. And anybody who criticizes Hello Father in Heaven and says, that's stupid. I hate that, I hate Christians. Well, what did you do? What did you do that Hello Father in Heaven would not accept his son back? What did you do so wrong that you believe he wouldn't love you enough to have mercy and accept you back? It's you that makes the decision. He doesn't need the accolades, but he sure does miss you. And that book will help understand that whole concept. Okay? Prostitutes, a priest was told, prostitutes and murderers will get into heaven before you do. Do you know why? Because he allowed his sons to blaspheme and do all these terrible things. Like they were stealing the meat, the good meat for sacrifice. In that day, those days sacrifices were allowed. Okay. So I don't know. I'm just trying to help as many people as I can, and I recommend that if you want to understand His mercy, there's a quote in the Bible that says, "Sure, I love the man, the son or daughter that comes to me, okay, every day doing the right thing, not breaking a commandment. But I love the son or daughter more that comes back and asks for forgiveness and asks to do it my way, by my rules. Because he went through so much more to get to where it was, and he understands why." One had blind faith, and the other one was went through the hard knocks. So everybody that thinks that they are so bad out there, he knows what you were up against. Some people were bred into this evil, okay? They will get a new spirit and a new body. I mean, a new heart and a new soul, or a new heart and a new spirit. So they'll have a better life, okay? And people don't believe this, but it's true. They do. In the Bible, it also says you get a second life, okay? And, remember it says, you want to be repentant because you don't want to suffer the second death. See? So we live and then we live again. So depending upon how you live, just how bad it's going to be. So all I can do is just hope for the best. I know it's true because I know, and I can't tell you those reasons, but I know for a fact. Okay? So those stories are too personal for me, and I was recommended not to say anything. So there you go. And I wish you the best. Hope people understand a little bit more about not judging people that might not look good. Like homelessness. Some of them are domestic violence victims. Some of them were trafficked and they refused to get involved in criminal activity. Yeah, some are felons, but how'd they become felons? Did they not have parents? Did they get driven into poverty by criminals? You know, they didn't have a chance that most people did. They didn't have a chance. So we will be judged so much more for knowing Hello Father in heaven and having support systems. And I'm not saying my life was great. It wasn't all cushy like everybody thinks with what I looked like before. If you saw me now, you'd be like, ugh. You know, you said, oh, she must have done something really bad. You know, no. I'm wearing my scars and I'm repentant. So if you could just give some thought to this stuff, okay? And hopefully, you know, it'll help people and family members understand their children or their moms and dads that leave them. It's not because they don't love you. It's because they're in that much pain, and it would have ruined you anyway. Do you understand? So they didn't understand what was happening to them, and then they get caught up in it because, unfortunately, on the streets, blackmail, bribes, and threatens happens, and sometimes you get threatened. Your lives get threatened, and they'd rather sacrifice themselves for you because they're screw up. So say prayers for them. Don't criticize them. Don't look at the downtrodden and not pass by without a prayer. Whatever is your will, Hell Father, you know. And if you ever give anything to them, you need to do it discreetly. So discreetly that you can't get caught. Because not everybody can live a perfect life by just giving and receiving. Sometimes, if you give something, one of their agents or commanders of evil over them, enslaving them, might want them to take from you more, okay? Because Christians are being persecuted, good people are being persecuted. You don't have to believe to achieve, you know. We're all going to go through this. Every single person on the planet right now is going through hell. Most people, I should say. So, good luck, and, you know, just keep the faith of a mustard seed and stay faithful to the end if you want. It's all about choice.